Hello everyone, my name is Rohit Kumar. I am social science teacher from Maples Academy Devan. Student, today we are discussing about the chapter number 7, the Gupta Empire, an age of the tireless creativity. After reorganization or resurgence, after the decline of the great power like the Kushanas in the north and Satavahanas in the Deccan, and India enter a period of political fragmentation. In India entered a political fragmentation and many smaller kingdom regional ruler rose to the power and leading to a time of instability. But even without a single empire, India culture, trade and learning continued to flourish. Then in the early 4th century CE, a new dynasty emerged that changed the course of the Indian history. The Guptas, starting as a local ruler in the present day Uttar Pradesh, they gradually united large part of the northern and the central India. Under their rule, India entered a new phase of prosperity, peace, and creative energy. This period from the 4th century uh, common era is known as the Gupta age and often called the classical age of India. And it was a golden era when a literature, art, science, mathematics, governance reached remarkable height. The temple and the sculpture were built with a great skill. Sanskrit poetry flourished, and scholars like Aryabhat, Kalidas made contributions that are remembered even today. The Gupta Empire brought not just political unity but also a shared sense of culture identity across the subcontinent. It laid the foundation of many values traditions that continue in India civilization for centuries to come. Emergence of the Gupta dynasty, tracing the roots, the resurgence, and the rise of the Guptas after the Kushanas. Following the decline of the Kushanas, Empire India faced political fragmentation, and the Gupta dynasty emerged the Magad around the 320 Common Era, filling the power of the power vacuum and restoring unity. Sri Gupta, founder of the dynasty, established the early kingdom, and Ghatotkacha consolidated the initially territory base, and Chandragupta first great ruler began imperial expansion. Now the enabling the unveiling the past or sources of information inscription Prayag Prahasti, Allahabad pillar and the Mehroli iron pillar inscription reveal royal achievement and territorial extent. And the coins, Gupta gold coins, Dinara, bear portrait and legends revealing the titles, religious affiliation, and artistic skill. And literary work, Mudrakasha by the Vishakadatta and the Deva Chandraguptam, provincial, historical, and cultural context. And the foreign accounts, Chinese pilgrimage Fahin visited India during the Chandragupta region and documenting society, religion, and governance. The dynasty was founded by the Sri Gupta who ruled from the around 240 to the 280 CE. He was succeeded by the Ghatotkacha and who likely continued consolidated power, and the Guptas rose to prominence and emerged as a major imperial power, and the three strong rulers Chandragupta, Samudragupta and the Chandragupta II known as Vikram Aditya. As the sources of informations, our understanding the Gupta Empire comes from a range of literary and archaeological sources. Among the most important, Praga Prahasti, an inscription composed by the Hari Sena, the court poet of Samudragupta. Now the pillar power of key ruler of Gupta Empire. The Chandragupta first was the prominent ruler of the Chandragupta dynasty, ascending the throne after his father Ghatotkacha around 319 CE. His marriage to the Kumara Devi, a princess of the influential Lichvi tribe, played a key role in strengthening his position as a part of the alliance, and he received the region of the Magad, including its capital Patliputra as a dowry. With the support of the Lichvi, Chandragupta first expanded his rule by the conquering the nearby territory. His empire extended over large part of the present-day Bihar, eastern Uttar Pradesh, and the Bengal. To reflect his growing power, he adopted the grand title Maharaja Adhiraj, meaning King of Great King. The Samudragupta ruled the Gupta Empire from 335 to 375 say he called the Napoleon of India and conquered the vast territory across the northern and southern India. And the Chandragupta II, also known as the Vikram Aditya, ruled from the 375 CE to 415 CE, and under this under his leadership the Gupta Empire is its peak in power, prosperity, and cultural development. Like the grandfather of the Chandragupta, he strengthened his ruler through the strategic political alliance, and he married the daughter of a powerful Naga ruler. And to expand his influence further, he married his daughter and Pravati to a Vikataka ruler in the Deccan, and his son to a Kadamba princess from the Karnataka region. One of the Chandragupta's second greatest military achievements was defeat of the Shaka Kastaprahas, leading to the annexation of the kingdom in Gujarat. The victory gave the Gupta control over the important seaport and western coast, boosting the overseas trade and expanding the economic prosperity. Now the later Guptas, Chandragupta II was succeeded by his son Kumar Gupta, an able ruler who successfully maintained a peaceful stability across the empire. And after him, his son Skand Gupta took the throne, and Skand Gupta is remembered for bravely defending the empire against the invasion of the Huns in the mid 5th century CE. And however, the ruler who became after Samudra Skand Gupta were weak and unable to resist repeat Hun invasion. As a result, the strength in the Gupta Empire began to diminish. Now the Golden Age, the Gupta Age, as a period of the flourishing, and the Gupta ruler were not only skilled administrators but also the generous patron of the literature, art, and architecture. As a result, the period of the witnessed remarkable progress in cultural, science, and learning. Due to these outstanding achievements, many historians refer to the Gupta Age as a golden age of Indian history. Now the governance. The Gupta Empire had a well organized and a hierarchical system of the administration. At the top of the stood the emperor. He held such a title Parameshwara, Supreme Lord, and Maharaja Raj, King of the Great King, and the Parama Bhatraka, Supreme Sovereign. The empire was the central authority, but he was assisted by a council of ministers called the Amadasa, who helped in the managing various aspects of governance. The empire was divided into the provinces. Which were further divided into a district, then into the villages, and a group of villages form a district, and several made up of provinces. Each province was usually governed by the president in high ranking, and Mantri Parishad, Council of Minister, provincial governor, and the district officer, and the village heads. Provincial governors Kumar Matasa, and district officer Visyapatis, and village heads Gramikas. The land revenue, primary sources of the income, typically 1/6 of the produce, and trade and commerce, thriving the internal foreign trade, gold, coins, facilitated commerce, and guilds, trainees, merchant, and artist guilds boost the economic productivity. Now the mind, abilities, education, and scientific advancement, mathematics. Aryabhatta introduced the zero, the decimal system, or called pi. Brahmagupta advanced algebra and arithmetic. And astronomy, Aryabhatta proposed that the earth rotate on its axis, explained the solar and lunar eclipse scientifically. And medicine, Charka and Shushatra's traditions continue. Advances in the surgery, herbal medicine, and public health were made. Nalanda University, founded by the Kumar Gupta first, and Nalanda became the world foremost center of learning, attracting scholars from across Asia. Now the artistic and grandeur, art, architecture, and literature. Classical Indian art. The Gupta era defined the classical style of Indian art, graceful, refined, and deeply spiritual. Sculptures, Mathura, Sarnath schools produce iconic Buddha and Hindu deity images, and architectures, and the painting, Ajanta caves mural depict the Jataka's tales and vivid culture. Literature, Kalidas wrote the Abhyan Jana Shakuntalam and Meghdut Panchtantra compiled. Now the enduring the legacy, the lasting impact of the Gupta age, and the legacy of the Gupta period lies in the strong culture, intellectual foundation it laid for the future generation. The artistic style developed in sculptures, temples, architectures, and painting influenced the Indian art for centuries. Sanskrit literature produced during this era set a high standard for poetry and drama and continue to inspire writers across the region. The scientific ideas of the Gupta scholars, such as the decimal system, zero system, and astronomical concept, spread far beyond India and become a part of the global knowledge. The model of the centralized yet efficient governance also served as an example of the later Indian kingdom, and even after the fall of the empire, the Gupta ideas of the learning, religious tolerance, and culture unity remained deeply rooted in the Indian society, shaping the identity of the subcontinent in the centuries that followed. Now, thank you. This is all about the chapter number 7, the Gupta age.